Yo, what is up guys, Boris here, and the brand new set, Flame of the Tyrant, is officially leaked. We got all the cards that are in the set for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links mini box. It apparently comes out on the 31st, so that's going to be in about a week or so. And we got all the cards that are going to be in the set. Again, this is going to be a mini set, so don't expect that many cards. And if you guys don't know by now, you guys should know the first two sets are rotating out on the 14th. So what that means is that we should be getting maybe another set on the 14th, but this one will definitely be getting on the 31st from what I've heard. So let's go ahead and get started and see what exactly is in the set. As you can see, there's going to be a lot of fire monsters, a lot of fire. Which is pretty interesting. There hasn't been that much fire element in the game so far. And a quick note, I guess, is, I'll leave the link to the Reddit post down below so you guys can see exactly where I got this info from. But we did get one interesting light monster here, which is pretty cool, and I can't wait to talk about it. I've pulled up all the cards pretty much, or not all the cards, but most of the good cards that I think, noteworthy cards, although I'm sure I'm going to miss a few. But let's just go ahead and get started talking about all the different cards. As you can see, again, just like the Age of Discovery, there's two ultra rare cards, so hopefully people will be able to get the Tyrant Dragon pretty easily. And yeah, it's probably going to be like 100 packs or something, 80 packs, not too sure. So let's go ahead and start with the first card here. We have Worm. So this is a pretty interesting card. I think this is one of the SRs. And this is interesting because when this card is destroyed, you can send the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. So with a 20 card deck, 3 cards is a lot. You know, they already start with drawing 3 cards, you know, draw a card for your turn. That's 4, 16. You're looking at about a fifth of the deck. Just one of these, play 3, you know, things are going to get pretty crazy. Thankfully, it is an SR, so you can only pull 2 of them. So if you want to pull the third one, you'd have to reset the box. But I have seen a bit of insect support so far in the set. There's a couple cards that in there that I'm not going to talk about, but there's a few insect cards which are pretty interesting. And I think you know, we better look out for this card, because this card is going to be really annoying, especially in PvP. Next up we have Gaya Soul Combustible Engine. I think, yeah, that's another not secret rare, super rare. And this is I just put this in here because it's a 2000 attack. Unfortunately, it does destroy itself at the end of the turn, but it does deal piercing damage. So, you know, you have the potential there, you know, just running over maybe a 0 defense monster or something, and, you know, finishing the duel with this. Maybe like a 1-of, you know, who knows? People can do some crazy combos because you can actually tribute 2 more pyros, and this card gains 1,000 per each. So, has definitely some interesting, like, end of game potential, and you might end up being burned out by this card. Next up, another card I have pulled up here is Spirit Ryu. Now, Spirit Ryu is actually, I think, one of the cards you need for one of the fusions, so there's 2 new fusions. But this card is pretty interesting because you can discard a dragon type monster and increases attack and defense by 1,000. Pretty interesting, makes him up to 2,000. I think you might be able to do this multiple times a turn, because it doesn't say once per turn, I don't think. Yeah, but I don't know. It's only when it battles during your turn though, so I don't know. Yeah, this is a card that you might want, but I don't think we're gonna be using it unless there's some sort of discarding combo or something. I don't remember if Thunder Dragon. I think Thunder Dragon is a dragon, so maybe that might work. But we'll have to wait and see. Try Right, an interesting card, because what this one does is you can target 3 level 2 or lower monsters and special summon them from the graveyard. So, you know, 3 level 2 or lower monsters are pretty difficult to get, but there is a brand new card in the set called Agent of Creation Venus. This card, you can pay 500 life points and summon a mystical shine ball from your hand or deck. So just play this card down, pay 1,000 on the first turn, and you have 2 of, you know, and then you can summon them all back. You can do some pretty crazy stuff. So this is the beginning of, you know, a level 2 deck here. I thought it was going to be in the next set. I thought it was going to be in the Valkyrie set, which also was leaked a while ago, but apparently they put it in this one, so I think they bumped it up a set, and so it gives us a preview of what the next set's going to be. Definitely going to pick up this card, guys. I believe this is a super rare as well. Yeah, definitely pick up this card because you're going to need it whenever the Valkyrie set comes out, I think. You know, when all the fairy support comes out. So those are those 2. There's another card I think has endgame potential. You contribute 1 face of fire monster, inflict 100 per fire monster in your graveyard. So again, on the last turn, you can play this card, sacrifice one of your fire monsters, deal 800, sacrifice another one, deal 900, or, you know, or even like 600 and 700. And you got a lot of damage right there just out of nowhere. You know, maybe like a 1-of in fire decks could be pretty interesting to run. Just something. And it has 1,500 attacks, not too bad. Next up, guys, Iron Blacksmith Kotetsu. As you guys know, there's pretty good equip in what is it? Mask of Accursed, I think. They can attack and they lose 500 every turn. So you can use this guy to make sure you draw it every game. I'm not too sure. Maybe like they drop Leviathan and then you can next turn drop it so you can attack or whatever. I don't know. There's some uses for it. And maybe there's some other equips that you might want to get, maybe for an OTK or something. This guy could definitely see wanting a few of these guys just in case I want to make an equip deck. But other than that, I'm not too sure. He is a bit weak. He's a beast warrior though. Next up, guys, we have Infernal Flame Emperor. Another interesting card because he cannot be special summoned. So you have to tribute summon him, but when this card is tribute summoned, you can move from play up to 5 fire monsters and then destroy spell or trap cards equal to the number of fire monsters you removed. So one of the first sort of actual spell and trap card removal for face downs. Expect this guy to see some play maybe, who knows, but there are certainly there's a lot of fire support in the set, so fire decks definitely I think are going to start seeing some play. Let's see. Imitating Afterlife. This is a pretty powerful card right now because when he's destroyed, both players get a level 3 or lower normal monster from their deck. Most people will not be running a level 3 lower or lower normal monster, like talking about Dragon Zombie or Jerry Beansman. Some people might run Jerry Beansman, but you can play this in a dedicated deck, and it can be very powerful because 1600 attack, and then on top of that, when he destroyed, you get another card. Again, it could be a pretty powerful effect, and again, it just when it's sent to the field to the graveyard, so it doesn't have to be destroyed. I guess it could be tributed or something. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it does have to be destroyed through battles. What I mean. So the problem is, again, your opponent gets a card. So if your opponent's running Jerry Beansman or something, they could get it. Dragon Zombie, they can get it. Although most people don't run Dragon Zombie. But overall, this is a card you might want to get 2 or 3 of if you can, because you never know. This is a card that could be potentially good in the future, especially with like Exodia or something. Next up, let's see, Golden Apple is a super rare. So yeah, and the other one was a super rare as well. So Golden Apple, guys, I'm not too sure about this card. When you take battle damage, you control no monsters, gain life points equal to the battle damage you took. And if you do, special summon a Malice token, and the attack and defense of the token are equal to the amount of damage it took. Or sorry, the amount of life points you gained. So you pretty much don't take any damage and you summon a copy of a card. This could be interesting for like an all trap card deck, and that's something you want to run. Although with 3 trap card slots, all trap card decks seem really bad to me. But you never know. Maybe get some trap card support in the future. And again, if you have nothing on the field, I mean no monster on the field, I don't know. This card could, I mean, it's definitely good, but I don't know if like they just summon the Dragon Daedalus and just wipe your field. You can't use this card, so because you have to use it after you attack, and you have to survive the attack as well. You don't heal; you heal after the battle damage, I believe. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I think overall, might not be bad to get 1 or 2 of those. Master Craftsman Camille. This is the most annoying card in the set, I think, because now you can discard this card during the damage step. When the face of monster is attacking or being attacked, you can pretty much gives them 300 extra attack. So now, even if they don't have any trap cards, you have to worry about Sphere Karibo, and you have to worry about this card. 300 attack is not that much. I'd rather just have a reinforcement anyways. But still, something you have to keep in the back of your mind when you're about to maybe go for the win. And if they have this card, you might be screwed. So it's just annoying that this card is in the game. But again, something that I don't think a lot of people will run. 300 is not that much. And again, I think I would just rather run reinforcements. However, it is sort of sneaky, so some people might run this. We'll see. We'll see how this is used. I think this is this a super? Yeah. So these are all super rares, I think. Yeah. Sergeant Electro is one of my favorite cards so far from the set. Just because it's a disrupt. I like disrupting cards that sort of stop my opponents. So this one, you can target one face down card on spell or trap card. They can't activate it as long as this card's on the field. So just if you're worried about that trap card, you play this guy down, and they can't do anything. And it's a machine, so potentially machine decks starting to see some use. Although machine decks gonna be pretty hard to use with Umi. Everyone running Umi around, in PvP. So who knows? But still a cool card. I don't think it's gonna see that much play, but it's the beginning of the disrupting cards. If you get enough of those, you can make a good deck. But we need to get some more maybe in the next set. Legion. So this card's kind of weird. I think this card's really good. This card's really good, but I just don't know how we're gonna use it. But pretty much what this guy does is he's also a super rare. During your main phase, you can tribute summon one spellcaster type monster in face-up attack position, in addition to your normal summoner set. So you summon that guy, and then you get an X. You can also tribute summon a spellcaster on top of that summon. So if you already have a monster, you can summon him and then summon Dark Magician. Or you can summon him and summon Dark Magician Girl immediately. Oh, also, by the way, when he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a spellcaster, normal monster. So you can add the Dark Magician back to your hand. Oh, you can add him from your deck or graveyard. Okay, interesting. So you can, if your Dark Magician has already died, you can bring it back, and you can only use the effect once per turn. So that card is really good. That card is really good. Random spellcaster support in a fire-themed set, but you know, definitely if you want to run the Dark Magician deck, you definitely need some of these. What else is there? Okay, well, these are the ultra rares, guys. Oh, actually, yeah, these are the ultra rares. So first off, we have Tyrant Dragon. Again, we knew about this. This was a card from the set. During the battle phase, if your opponent controls a monster after this card attacks, you can attack again. You can do a second attack. So I think you can only do 2 attacks per turn. And then to get any trap effect that targets this card, so not any, but it has to target it. And if you do, destroy the trap card, and then the card cannot be special summoned from the graveyard unless you tribute one dragon monster. So this is gonna be a really powerful card. 2900 attack. It's a dragon, so you can search it with the dragon. There's a dragon searcher card you can get from the card trader, I believe. The problem is, I mean, there's not really a problem with this card. This card's really good. You can't. I don't think you can Mishizuri. Can you Mishizuri this? I'm not too sure, but you can't target it pretty much. You can't target it with any trap card. The cool thing is that they have this new card in the set called Thing in the Crater. I think this is a rare or a normal. But this card, when this card is destroyed and sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon a Pyro type monster. Oh, Pyro, never mind. It doesn't work. I was starting to get excited there, but that does not work. Never mind. Good thing I read it again. So you can't use that. Never mind. But there's that, and there's also Grasshopper, which lets you summon an insect from your hand, or yeah, from your hand whenever the card is destroyed. So you're starting to see some of that. If we get a good insect, which I guess there might be a few good insects or a good Pyro. Which I don't know. There's that one Pyro I showed earlier, but I don't think that you can special summon him. It said you can't special summon. You can only tribute summon him. So yeah, so there's that. But still, there's plenty of ways to get out Tyrant Dragon. Cost down. There's we've seen all sorts of stuff. Tribute Doll. Well, I think Tribute Doll has to be exactly 7. He's 8. I'm not too sure. There's plenty of ways to get him out. There's gonna be people are gonna find ways to get him out. And like I said, people love dragons, so they're gonna find a way to make their dragon deck. With Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Eyes, you know, all that stuff. So Tyrant Dragon overall really cool. And then we have the final card. This is also UR, Rigorous Reaver, Fire Plant, which doesn't make any sense. But I don't know why this guy's a UR. I mean, he might be really good and I'm just missing it, but there's not that much plant support, I don't think, so far. And pretty much what he does is when this card is destroyed by battle, the monster is destroyed and you lose 500 attack and defense. It loses. So if this guy is destroyed, they lose a 500 attack and defense. There's already a couple cards that do that. And then when you flip summon him, each player discards a card. So that's actually a pretty powerful effect. You know, limiting your opponent's resources, disrupting them. If your opponent's holding on to like that Dragon Daedalus, you can make them discard it. Although they're normally going to have more than one card in their hand. You know, I don't know why this is an ultra rare, but we'll see. I mean, it's not a bad card for sure. It's definitely not a bad card. But I don't think it's like I think like some other cards would have been better ultra rare. But then again, you know, it's better for us if the cards we want aren't ultra rare, so they're a lot easier to get. But yeah, with that said, guys, I think that's most of the cards. If there's any other cards that you guys think I should look at, let me know down below. There's the 2 new fusions, which you know, fusions definitely are a bit underrated right now. I think they are actually pretty good. But most people, especially for, you know, points and stuff, because I think when you fusion or ritual summon, you get points, extra points. During a duel. There's also cards like some other cards I hadn't looked at, like Draco, Firebird, Dark Effigy. So maybe some of those cards allow you to summon Tyrant Dragon a lot easier. So yeah, there's some more cards I haven't really looked at, but I think for the most part, I think we covered a lot of the good ones. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Let me know down below if you guys again have any more questions about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace.